What's up, guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm back out here in the shop working on Project Blackout, and where we left off on this, I was working on mounting the cab to the chassis. Well, I kind of hit a stopping point for that. I can't go ahead and mount the tabs yet, simply because it's not sitting quite how I want in relation with the engine. The engine is actually sitting quite a bit above the fenders. So the plan with this from the get-go was I was going to run a cow hood. I like the looks of them, and it would give me a little bit more clearance as far as the engine to hood clearance. I'm still planning on doing that and going that route, but the engine is just simply way too high above it, so I need to address that issue. And I don't want to raise the cab because then that would put quite a bit more chassis hanging down below it. And I don't want that. I want it to be nice and tight and low profile. So what I'm going to do is take the body off, and I'm going to take the engine out and try to redo the mounts to where I can move this back a couple inches and down a couple inches. I've looked at it at quite a few different angles, and it does look like I can lower it and move it back quite a bit. I'm thinking the 2-inch area should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll put the body back on and see how it fits and kind of go from there. Alright, the cab is off. I got that side over there in the corner, and the engine hoist is out. Now I'm going to get ready to hook up to the engine and then lift this up. We'll probably just slide it back to here for now, and then I can look at the engine mounts and see what I need to do to drop those down and move them back. Okay, so just for the hell of it, we've switched the plans to a mid-engine vehicle. I'm ditching the front engine idea, and we're just going to do a mid-engine setup and mount the seats back there. Totally kidding. I'm not doing that, but that's where I want it sitting right now, and that'll give us some room so we can work on these brackets. Alright, so after going back and forth on how I want to tackle this, what I'm going to do is cut these brackets. They are attached to the welded on ones on the frame. I'm going to try to modify these the way I need. That way I don't have to worry about cutting these off and lining them back up. So I set the engine mounts on here and mark those so I don't cut too far into it, but I'm just going to slice it there and then cut a chunk out. And then I will bolt these back up to the engine and then put the engine back over it and see how it all lines up, and if I'm able to move it the amount that I'm wanting to. Got both brackets for the engine mounts cut. This is kind of what I did, is just chop them up a little bit to see what I'm working with, and bolted those back up. This one is cut more flush with this. I'll end up doing the same over there. I think we're going to wait until I get it held up next to it. But I got the new engine mounts on the engine. That way the rubber is good and they're not worn out, and I can get a better location. And then I'm bolting these up to there, and then I'm going to wheel the engine back over here and see what it's looking like. The other side is already done. And that's kind of the piece that I chopped off there, and I'll still be using this. So I'm going to toss this back on and move the engine over and see how it looks. Alright guys, so it has been several weeks since I last worked on Project Blackout, working on the engine mounts, but I have them all finished up now. I just have some 4-inch by 1/2-inch flat stock, and I use that to sliding it back. I have these just tacked in place at the moment. I will not finish weld them until I'm done with the trans cross member as well as the T-case. That way, if I have to cut it loose and move it around, I can. I ended up moving the engine over 1.5 inches, and I think somewhere around 2 inches down and 2 inches back. And then this is the driver's side over here. It goes over quite a bit further. I was very limited on room, how far I could move it over and down because of the diff. It was getting close to that, but part of the reason I wanted to move it over is because when I lowered it, I was trying to clear the diff a little bit more, or a little bit better with the oil pan there. So that's kind of what I got going on for the engine mounts. Now that those are knocked out, I can start working on the trans cross member as well as the transfer case and get that all squared away. And then I think once those are done, I will end up finish welding the whole thing once I know it is exactly where I want it and I'm all taken care of as far as measurements. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up this video. Make sure to stay tuned on the next video for Project Blackout, and that should be finally mounting the cab for the last time. Now that I know where I want the engine and how that's going to sit, I should be able to tack that into place where I want it, and that'll be all squared away. But that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.